Recently, the Grubhub delivery dance commercial has exploded in popularity due to memes surrounding it. In addition to the delivery dance, Grubhub has also released a number of other animated commercials advertising their product. These seem like simple ads, but what if I told you that the ads are actually all connected and tell a much darker story than you would first expect? In this video, we'll be exploring the mysteries of the Grubhub cinematic universe. While the Grubhub universe at first just seems like a set of animated advertisements for a large company, there is in fact a much darker story behind these commercials. To start, we can see that Grubhub in these advertisements is much more powerful than in our reality. We can see in the aerial shot of the town that Grubhub has signs on multiple buildings, even before the arrival of the mysterious red Grubhub bag, which is an important event in the story. The food from Grubhub in this universe also seems to cause strange effects in the people who eat it. As I discussed in my Grubhub iceberg video, it is highly likely that the food is laced with opioids to addict people to Grubhub in this reality. With these fundamental concepts out of the way, I will quickly run down the ads and the major characters that appear in them. The delivery dance ad introduces us to Boogeyman and his son, who we will call Boogie Kid. Boogeyman has an opioid-fueled hallucination that shows us some other figures in his life. This guy is called Wiggleman and is featured in another ad. This is Pregnant Lady, and she also features in another commercial where this picture confirms that she is in a relationship with Boogeyman. These three ads with these characters are very similarly formatted, and all display them going into a trance-like state after eating food from Grubhub. The three characters make up the storyline of these ads, but there's another set of three ads that show us other characters. The first is focused on Noodle Lady's addiction to noodles, and also introduces the character of the delivery guy. The second commercial shows this guy, who is later revealed as Steve, as his life deteriorates from him not doing anything besides watching TV and eating. Oddly enough, this dog can be seen in another picture in Pregnant Lady's house, creating a possible connection between the main storyline and Steve, but I'll go over this later. This ad also introduces the Johnsons, the only family that makes you want to fire a ballistic missile at them. The final commercial shows the arrival of the red bag, which is obviously a very advanced machine created by Grubhub to distribute food faster and more effectively. It is very likely that the red bag gave Grubhub the ability to teleport food to people's houses, as seen in many of the commercials. This gives us a vital reference point for these commercials. This commercial also shows a flashback of Steve before he was a degenerate, and once again shows the Johnsons, who still are contributing nothing to society. It also introduces these three random people on the Brookfield College bowling team, who have no connection to anyone else in the story, besides one far-fetched theory which I'll get to later. Wiggleman seems like the odd one out in these three main commercials, as the other two have a clear connection, but this theory would explain that nicely. I suspect that Wiggleman is in fact another son of Boogeyman and Pregnant Lady, and therefore Boogie Kid's brother. I say this for multiple reasons. First of all, Boogeyman orders 4 burgers in delivery dance, despite there only being 3 known members of his family, meaning there is almost certainly another family member. Additionally, Wiggleman's skin tone, hair color, and eye color matches that of Boogeyman and Boogie Kid. Combined with the fact that Boogeyman, Pregnant Lady, and Wiggleman all have the same weird red dance hallucination after eating Grubhub, there's a pretty strong connection between these characters. The absence of both Wiggleman and Pregnant Lady in delivery dance is very odd, especially considering that Boogeyman ordered 4 burgers and clearly expects them to be there. I think a logical explanation for this is that some tragedy occurred that resulted in the death of Pregnant Lady, and that this also caused Wiggleman to become distant from his remaining family for whatever reason. What exactly happened is up for debate, but it is possible that Pregnant Lady died while giving birth to Boogie Kid. Alternatively, and I think this is more likely, the Salad Lady seen in the dance hallucination could have killed Pregnant Lady. Salad Lady is just awful in every way, and I don't think it's much of a logical leap to assume that she murdered Pregnant Lady for some small thing. This obviously would have happened after she gave birth to Boogie Kid, but not long after, since Boogie Kid is still a toddler in delivery dance. This also explains Salad Lady's appearance in Boogeyman's dance hallucination, as he surely would remember the person who killed his wife. Salad Lady is also theorized to be a veteran and plane crash survivor, so she certainly would have the ability to kill Pregnant Lady. One popular theory about the delivery dance is that Boogie Kid is actually dead. However, in this commercial, he's clearly seen moving around and dancing, making this theory seem impossible. However, when we consider that Boogeyman is known to have hallucinations of people he knows dancing, it becomes possible that Boogie Kid is in fact a figment of Boogeyman's imagination. If this is true, it is likely that Salad Lady killed Pregnant Lady while she was pregnant. This would explain why Boogeyman's hallucination of her is pregnant, because that is the last memory he has of her. It is also fitting with Salad Lady's character to kill a pregnant woman, since Salad Lady is just absolutely terrible. This dog appears in multiple places in completely unrelated ads. It is shown in a picture on Pregnant Lady's wall, and then it is seen in Steve's house. It can also be seen at the end of the red bag ad. While it's possible that this dog is somehow connected to both Pregnant Lady and Steve, and just happened to be at the red bag landing site, I think it's more likely that the dog is some robot dog designed by Grubhub. This is supported by the fact that, while in Steve's house, the dog orders Grubhub for him. This would easily explain why it appears in a picture at Pregnant Lady's house, since her family regularly orders Grubhub, and why the dog would be interested in the red bag. While Steve on the surface seems unrelated to the rest of the characters, I have a theory that Steve is in fact the child of Noodle Lady and Delivery Guy. Steve obviously looks like a combination of the two of them. He has a similar head shape to Delivery Guy and the same hair color as Noodle Lady. And the two also have a connection from Delivery Guy delivering Noodle Lady's noodles all the time. This theory isn't too important to the story, but it does explain Steve's Grubhub addiction and just provides a small connection between the stories. Of all the segments in the red bag advertisement, the one about the bowling team is by far the most out of place. While Steve and the Johnsons were already established characters, having these random people on a bowling team suddenly appear was a bit weird. However, this theory explains the appearance of the bowling team and actually connects to the delivery dance advertisement. In Boogeyman's dance sequence, we see this girl. This girl is the last person I have not mentioned from Boogeyman's hallucination, and that is because there is seemingly no connection between these characters. We can assume Boogeyman knows her somehow, but she isn't seen anywhere else and isn't as obviously evil as Salad Girl is. However, this girl does look like a combination of these two people on the bowling team. It is possible that this is their kid, since that's how I would expect their child to look like, and they have a close connection from being on the same bowling team. The first relevant event in this timeline is the creation of Grubhub. Grubhub started as simply a food delivery service, but quickly expanded into the narcotics trade, putting opioids in their food to get people addicted and make them buy more, not unlike the original recipe for Coca-Cola. One of these people is Noodle Lady, who we can determine comes before all the other characters thanks to the fact that her food is delivered by Delivery Guy, rather than just teleporting to her house. Also around this time, the Brookfield College bowling team loses at bowling, and sometime after, these two have a child. Sometime after this, the red bag arrived, giving Grubhub the ability to teleport food to people's houses. We can see Delivery Guy right after the red bag arrives. This is presumably one of his last days working at Grubhub, since he would no longer be needed. Delivery Guy and Noodle Lady have a child named Steve, who is also addicted to Grubhub. This is also around the time that the Johnsons exist. They don't do much for the story. By this time, Boogeyman is an adult, and his mother, Pregnant Lady, is pregnant with her second son, Boogie Kid. However, Salad Lady kills her before she gives birth, leading to the death of both Pregnant Lady and Boogeyman's unborn child. This tragedy, combined with the amount of opioids that Boogeyman consumes from Grubhub, causes his life to spiral out of control. With his father hallucinating and constantly on drugs, Boogeyman moves out on his own, but he too ends up addicted to Grubhub. Steve, thanks to his dog who is actually a Grubhub agent, is a complete degenerate, too lazy to even get up from the couch. Grubhub eventually seizes control of the government and finally executes Salad Lady, who has been on death row for years after killing Pregnant Lady. With Salad Lady gone, the world is at peace at last.